Greetings, travel fiends. It's so exciting being here in London. I'm already feeling right at tomb. Care to join me for a little fright seeing? Or maybe we could find a nice pub and tuck into some authentic flesh and chips. Or we could go check out my English scarritage. I bet you didn't know your pal, the Crypt Keeper, was one of the crown ghouls. Did you, creeps? I've got all kinds of skeletons in my closet, which is kind of like the family in tonight's tale. You could call it Father Knows Beast, but I prefer Fatal Caper. In the end, Mycroft just didn't make the cut. Then again, neither had Frank. I bet that's one sunrise Mycroft wishes he'd never seen. Well, kiddies, looks like I'll be staying in England for a while. I think we'll all enjoy the trip. And when we finally do go home, I'm sure we'll have lots of souvenirs. Greetings, infestors. I'll be with you in a moment. I was just putting these gross profits away for safekeeping. You see, boils and ghouls, at Crypt Keeper Financial, we can help you get morgue for your money. Whether it's mutual fiends you want, or cold, horrid cash, we can guarantee you'll coroner the market. I bet you'd be the type who's interested in boo chips. Like tonight's tale. It's about 3 girls who are chopping around for a tax write-off of their own in a nasty shock option I call Last Respects. Shame about Lavon. She wanted so badly to be rich, but ended up just another poor girl. Still, you'll be pleased to know, kiddies, that the girls settled their differences and reopened the store as Ye Old Goriosity Shop. It's so nice to see a little family business that gruesome. As for me, I'm afraid a few of my investment strategies have got me into trouble with the IRS. Not to worry, though. The joke's on him. I'm about to make a killing. It looks like Neptune has just moved from Virgul to late Capricorn, which would mean you should avoid any serious romantic estranglements for a while. At least until the end of the month, when Mercury turns retrograde. Something about your horoscope isn't making sense. Let me see your hand. Yes, interesting. I'm not much at bleeding palms, but your future seems rather cloudy. Kind of like the woman in tonight's tale. She's been contemplating her scar sign, too, in a nasty nugget I call a slight case of murder. Looks like Sharon's due for a little career change, from writing novels to screenplays. But with a talent like hers, I'm sure she'll just grim and bear it. Now I know what's bothering me. You know the Zodiac never lies. You told me you were Sagittarius, but the truth is, you're Pisces. Fall in! Did you hear me, maggot? I said fall in! Ah, I swear you must be the sorriest bunch of sad sacks I ever did see. You're a disgrace to the uniform, all of you, and you call yourself a scare force? What's your problem, soldier? You some kind of mummy's boy? That it? I guess you think you're like the man in tonight's tale. He's not much of a soldier either. It's a nasty little shriek and destroy mission I call escape. Well, Luger wanted a discharge from the army, and that's exactly what he got. Talk about a bleeder among men. I guess now he'd rather fright than snitch. Now then, let's see what you maggots are made of. About face. Parade march. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Present arms. Now that's what I call active service.
90 seconds and counting.
Let's see. One small stiff a man, one giant... Oh, hello, Scargazers. You're just in time. My skeleton crew and I are about to blast off for a little space exploration. Care to join us? Good. I hope you're made of the rot stuff, 'cause we'll be heading fright years from terra firma, boldly going where no ghoul has gone before. Hey, pal, watch the suit or you're launch meat. Which is kind of like the man in tonight's tale. He's going places too, except his destination is a little more earthbound. It's a nasty bit of scarodynamics I call horror in the night. Poor Nick. Perhaps if he had had reservations, he wouldn't have checked in. Maybe next time he bumps into the girl of his screams, he'll expect her.
Begin launch sequence.
Gotta go, creeps.
2, 1.
Wow! What a massacre!
Dr. Crypt Keeper, I'm not the one with the problem here. She is.
Relationships aren't about who's right or wrong. Look, do you remember how you felt about each other when you were newlybleds? Do you want to feel the same way you felt at your marriage ceremony? Good. Then let go of what you find irritating about each other before it grows too far. Which is the kind of advice the young couple in tonight's tale should take. They're fiends and lovers whose relationship is caught between a rock and a horrid place. I call this one Cold War. I guess Cammy and Ford won't be joining Jimmy's Fang Club anytime soon. Still, I do see a little blight at the end of the tunnel for them. If Ford's new look grows on her. So, how's our struggle with wife and death? Are we happy? Looks like they'll be headed for divorce corpse instead. Oat! What? Are you blind? That ball was on the line, pal! Oh, hello, kiddies. I was just warming up for the Wimbledon tennis tournament. Normally I love a bit of stiff competition, but this guy is driving me nuts. Still, the match isn't over yet. We're playing Beast 2 out of 3. Which brings to mind the man in tonight's tale. He's about to play a little die breaker of his own in a sickening exhibition I call Kidnapper. Poor Daniel. I bet he never thought he'd get such a kick from falling in love. At least in the end, he did the writhe thing. As for me, kiddies, I've got to get back to my game. I've been on quite a winning streak. Now that's what I call a service break! Greetings, Hackriculture fans. I'll be with you in a moment. I've just got to finish with the artichokes. Come on, Artie! Die already! Phew. Now, a little water and some fertilizer. And before you know it, I'll be harvesting my own little field of screams. You didn't know your pal, the Crypt Keeper, had a green thumb, did you? Well, I do. And the rest of me is pretty damn moldy, too. Which brings to mind tonight's tale. It's about a scientist who's a bit of a scarecropper himself. I call this one Report from the Grave. Poor Elliot. Thought his field was physics. Turned out it was diology. And that's not the worst of it. Elliot only read the first part of Tim Rack's book, where he tied up Ariane. If Elliot had read a little further, he would have seen Tim Rack's chapter 2. I've got to get back to my planting. I've already sown the scarrots and the turnips, which means I've got just one more crop to put in. Squash! Squash! They tell me Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. He's a strange guy. But that's not why I called this meeting of the 5 families. The Tahaklias. The Bonettis. The others. The reason I called you all together is this. As godfather of the Gorleone family, I say it's time that we and organized crime stop fighting each other. I want there to be peace amongst us. I want there to be a whole lot of pieces. Which is kind of like the young man in tonight's tale. He wants a whole lot of something too. And a nasty nugget I call smoke rings. I guess Barry didn't realize the ad campaign would be his. Still, it's good to see that he's grown into the job. So, everyone agrees to the truce, except you. You know what that means, don't you? It means I have to kill you. Take that! That's why they call me the offer you can't refuse. My ghoul thinks I'm a vampire, so she eats garlic just in case. Man, she smells. Yeah, my ghoul thinks I'm a vampire. Laughs at me when we embrace. I said, babe, I'm no bloodsucker. Wipe that smile right off her face. Yeah, thank you very much. Now I'd like to play for you another little rhythm and booze decomposition of mine. It's about a man who's about to make a gourd progression of his own. And a nasty 5-finger haxercise I call About Face. Poor Jonathan invites his daughters to stay with him and ends up aghast in his own home. I guess he knows now he'll never tear them apart. As for me, I think I'll do one more number, then call it a night. Now that's a 6-string guitar. Read the next line for me, please.
Okay, I see M, D, C.
Okay, that's enough. I think I see what the problem is. Your eyes are in terrible shape. Probably from watching too much Tales from the Crypt. To fix it will require coactive lenses, maybe even radial skeratotomy. Although there is another test I could perform. We'll start by turning out the lights and making you look at this. It's a nasty nugget about a writer who's pretty fear-sighted himself. I call this one Confession. Too bad about Warhol. If he had kept his mouth shut, he wouldn't have gotten ahead of himself. Still, I think prison might work as a career move. I hear great things about their chop placement. Well, kiddies, your condition isn't as bad as I thought. A prescription for difocals should do the trick. Otherwise, your eyes are perfectly fine. Want me to put them back in your head for you? Look, lady, I'm sorry if the product made your skin fall off, but we never do exchanges on sale merchandise. Next, some people. Maybe at Doomingdale's, the ghostomers always fright, but not here. Attention all Slaymart choppers. Interested in tonight's Boo Light special? It concerns a couple of crooks who are about to learn the benefits of dying wholesale. I call this bit of gash and carry ear today, gone tomorrow. Poor Glenn. I hope his Boo Cross policy's in force. Sounded to me like he got in his screamium just in time. So, how will you be paying today? Now that's a charge card. Woo! Son of Dracula. Return of the Son of Dracula. The Son of Dracula's Revenge? Is that all you can do? Vampire movies? I'm afraid that's not good enough. You'd have to be a bite more versatile to be on the fighting staff of Tales from the Crypt. Oh, hello, creeps. As you can see, we've got an opening for a storied editor. I've been conducting chop interviews all morning. No one seems to get what I'm looking for. Oh well, let's see who's next. Interesting. A brother team. Grim. I think I've heard of them. This has potential, boils and ghouls. It's a twisted bit of gory telling about 3 characters you may recognize at first. It's called The Third Pig. I don't know about you, kiddies, but I was glad to see the wolf hit one out of the pork. Still, an hour from now, he'll be hungry again and bacon for more. You'll be happy to know, creeps, that it looks like that opening I told you about has been filled. Once we hammer out a few creative differences, that is.